Oh god, we've got a good one. We've got a good one. We have got, I say this every time, we've got a law-friendly car that, why has this never been put into GTA of any type? This is just the perfect car. And it's a car that apparently Michael is sitting way too high in, but if you can't tell from the shape of these windows right here, well, let me put you out your misery. It is, of course, this. This is the Bordeaux Garden Shed. This is supposed to be a law-friendly-esque, because, I mean, I don't think the Bordeaux brand really exists within the realms of GTA, but this is the Bordeaux-branded Garden Shed, which is a law-friendly version of the Citroen Deux Chevaux, or the 2CV, and this, I absolutely love these cars, by the way. In fact, actually, one great video that I would recommend watching after this one is Chris Harris's video on the Citroen 2CV. In fact, his own 2CV. It's like a terribly slow car, whatever, but it's got so much charm and character that I just absolutely love them, even if I probably would maybe not enjoy driving them or owning them so much, maybe one just to look at. But we now have one inside of GTA that fits in with the universe. As you can see, it is slightly different from a normal 2CV. It does look a little different, but that means that it just fits in perfectly within this world of cars that look vaguely similar to real cars, but not at the same time. Now, there's actually two versions of this. There's actually this, and there's also a sort of a weird version which the mod maker has called the Bordenetta, which we'll be checking out very shortly. But first of all, I just want to check this out. Now, there's not really any tuning parts for this thing. However, that doesn't really stop people in the real-life 2CV community from modifying their cars by purely just painting them, getting some mad wheels, and then slamming them to the ground. If you haven't looked at slammed 2CVs, I highly recommend going onto Google or Flickr or wherever and looking those up, because they are quite a spectacle. So actually, I'm going to do that today, so I can actually save you the time. And also, I'm noticing, right, I'm going to have to really focus this on the sound. But just listen. Can you hear it? That's right. It's clinking on the indicate. Now, I don't know if I've ever heard a car do that, especially to the loudness that this does, because you can really hear it outside the car. That's a pretty significant indicator sound. But we are, of course, indicating left in this one. But as you can see there is the badge. It says Garden Shed, and that is, I suppose, the Bordeaux badge. It just looks like some sort of chemical thing, like some sort of dangerous chemical. So let's get a minis mod. As you can see in customs, there is absolutely nothing to do. But we can go to wheels, and we can go to sports, for example, and as you can see, we can get wheels that look like this. And we can try and find something. Oh, 3-spoke wheels. Let's give it a try. Let's see what it looks like. We also have suspension. We can slam that down just a little bit. We also have some extras as well. So on this, it's going to be... Let's have a look here. Okay, not entirely sure where extra 1 fits into this one, but extra 10... is this little visor right here. It's also probably worth looking at the engine bay and everything else. Let's just have a quick look. So here we are, everything opened up. Here is our engine bay with a rather interestingly angled battery. I don't know if that's how they exist in real life, but that's pretty interesting. And then we have everything going along here. Looking pretty cool. It's got some 3D-esque stuff, but also 2D, which I think fits in perfectly with this whole game. It's a really good balance of detail. And then we also have this bit on the rear. Of course, this is all, the boot is just part of the same cabin, as you would get, and then you just got a spare wheel in there, like that. And then all the doors open up, as you would expect. Now, this interior is definitely way nicer than you would find in a regular 2CV. This is like, it's almost like a muscle car style interior. This is kind of weird, this interior, I've got to say. I mean, completely different to the 2CV interiors, which actually the seats were removable, so you could use them for sitting on when having a picnic. Yes, that is a genuine thing. Right, so let's just go ahead and close all this back down. Sadly, we can't, like, roll the roof back or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. And also, what I really love is that we actually get yellow headlights. This is full French style. I am a huge yellow headlight fan. So, of course, I think this looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go to customs and I'm going to go to paints and I'm just going to, I don't know, let's see what we can find here. Okay, I've decided, because it really goes well with the orange and the yellow, to go for this deep metallic blue, just a really strong, solid blue. That looks pretty full on. Now, where we've gone for these custom wheels, they are super, super thin, and also this pavement is not exactly flat. So let's just go around to somewhere a little flatter. And I'm going to try and stance this thing out. Man, this thing is slow as well. Doesn't have much of a sound to it either. It sounds a bit asthmatic, I'll be honest. So with the power of V-Stancer, we can get rid of these super, super thin wheels that we have right here. So let's just go to wheel width. And let's just make them a bit more normal size. I mean, that's pretty wide for a 2CV already. That might be a little too wide. Let's go for something like that. And then on the size, I don't know, I think the size is actually quite good as it is. But also get all the wheels fitting onto the ground. Go to suspension menu and let's just go for some rear camber. This is all going to be sort of tucked away and we'll just do most of the camber on the front. Now, interestingly, 2CVs actually have quite a lot of camber on them anyway. I might put a picture up right now if I can find one that shows you what I mean. So this isn't too out of the realms of craziness for a 2CV, but we're going to do that, and then I'm just going to go to visual lowering, and I'm just going to drop that right down, and there we are. Okay, that is actually quite ridiculous, I will be honest, and we'll tuck that in. Yeah, going for that sort of like crazy camber on the front actually does look really stupid. I don't know why I thought that'd be a good idea, but there is a slammed 2CV. I keep calling this the 2CV. Slammed Garden Shed, the Bordeaux Garden Shed. I don't know why, but when I say Bordeaux, I seem to become more British than French. I end up saying a Bordeaux, like a Bordeaux wine or something. Or, oh, I've just bought a chateau in Bordeaux. Right, so this thing, quiet, it's slammed, it's cambered, but there's one more to check out. One slightly different one. It's kind of weird looking, but we've got to check it out nonetheless. Let's go. In fact, I'm going to park it up in the shade. We don't normally do this, but I've just found this bit that... Why have I never noticed this bit before? It's even got a jump. Well, okay. Let's just park up and check out the other one. And here it is. Now, I definitely think that this is based on a pre-existing 2CV. I can't tell you what one it is, but yeah, I definitely recognize something like this before. But basically, they've completely changed this rear, and they've just had this sort of like larger seating area. It definitely makes it a bit more comfortable for people in the rear, at least. Well, mind you, this one does have a tall roof, but yeah. This one's definitely a weird shape though. So when we go to menus customs, again, there's nothing, but we do have a couple of extras here. So we can get rid of this wheel, first of all, and just make it look like that if we wanted. But to be honest, I think the wheel fits in perfectly. And then we also have extra 10, which is going to be that right there. So for this one, I'm going to do it slightly different. I still want to slam it again because I do think that these slam to the ground are just awesome. So we're going to go to competition suspension. We're going to go to paints. I'm going to go to primary color, matte, and let's see what we got here. I've just noticed it also changes the color of the wheel, which is pretty interesting. See now, I didn't expect black to look as crazy as it does, because I mean, we got like all this chrome stuff going on, and then these wheels, and in the matte, that's kind of crazy. Also notice that this doesn't have yellow headlights as well. Man, I tell you, I really wish there was some more tuning parts for this, but maybe later on. If this gets more tuning parts, by the way, you can guarantee I will be doing another video. But I think for this one, I don't know. These are all kind of weird. Let's see what we've got in worn. Okay, these are definitely better options. In fact, something like that dark blue, that is very much like a color I would expect to find on like one of these old 2CVs. It looks very almost wartime-esque. That's pretty interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go for that then. And I'm gonna try to see if there's some different wheels, but I think we might use the same stock wheels. But let's just have a quick look. So let's go to lowrider, and yeah, these wheels, they're not really doing it. I think that the stock wheels are gonna be the one. And all I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go down and I'm just going to slam it to the ground as much as possible, which is, that's too much, as we've discovered. I mean, I could actually make these wheels smaller, I think, but let's not go too crazy. So we have it like that, and I'm just going to go on the front height and lift that up, and that's pretty low. Sadly, we can't get it any lower, especially because these stock wheels, you cannot change the size of stock wheels, so that's another issue. But there we are. There is a slammed second one. I don't want to leave that blue one behind, but we're gonna. Let's just take this slow little garden shed out into the sun. There we are. What a wonder. What a wonder to see driving the streets of Los Santos. This is absolutely amazing. This, I feel like, because what happened is that the Weenie Izzy, that of course you guys must now know in GTA Online and in GTA, the original classic one originally started as a mod. I don't know whether Rockstar had already had plans for that car at that point, or if they saw that mod and thought, yes, that's a great idea. If that was the case, then I sort of feel like if Rockstar get an eyeful of this, then it might give them some ideas, and as far as I'm concerned, that's great. I really want to see Rockstar have their own take on a proper version of this, and I would love to see this with just some more modding and, I don't know, some liveries, some extra bits, just to see what other stuff we can get out of this. But I just wanted to have a quick check out Sims, and this is actually normally, sometimes when I check out mods, they are relatively old. This one's pretty new. This one only came out very recently, so I wanted to check it out as it's a nice, fresh mod for everyone to see. But if you have got all the way to the end of this video, you can say Senior Buns in the comment section below, just to let me know that you watched the whole thing. It wasn't a long video, so I imagine many of you have. Who knows? But there we are, guys. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this quick video. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.